Let's talk about transparency. It's pretty easy adjustment you can make to any shape that you have in Illustrator. So you can see here, I have my ice cream sundae and you can see my layers. Here's all my layers that are all labeled. And one of the things that I have is I have my template back here, but I had turned it off because I don't really need it anymore. And I have all my layers turned on with the eyeballs there. Now, one thing I want to show you before I get into transparency really quickly is the little part right here by the cherry. I just wanted you to see what that looks like right here. I made a little extra shape here that overlaps the cherry. So the cherry is in between these two layers. This one is just kind of, I'm just going to call it a blob or something like that to kind of cover up that cherry, and it's just behind this little shape here. So that's just a little extra I wanted you to see. But let's just say I wanted to make it so that I can see through this part of the glass, so it kind of looks like a maybe old vintage transparent green glass. Or radiant glass, which I would not want to eat out of, but it is really cool looking. So all I have to do is select the shape I want, and then you'll notice that at the top here, you'll see the word opacity. Now, if you don't see this bar at the top of your screen, you could also go over to the right and go to the properties, and you should also see your opacity there. If you like this bar at the top that I have and you want that as well, all you have to do is go to the word window and click on the word control so that it's checked. Once that control is checked, that bar should show up. And then whatever you have selected, you'll notice that this bar at the top changes with that selection. So I'm going to click on the front of the bowl and I'm going to change my opacity, and it will do either one of these will do the same exact thing. So I'm going to just go here and adjust my opacity. And you can see now that I can change my opacity to see through the bowl. And that's all you need to do. And now I can go through and I could do something really cool, like what I can lock these other layers so I don't accidentally move them around while I'm playing here. And I'm just going to work with this ice cream layer. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in, and I'm going to zoom in so you can see this, with my pen tool. When I hover over this path, the edge of this scoop, you see how it does a little plus? That plus means it wants to add an anchor. So I can add some anchors over here so that I can now, I'm going to use my white arrow, or I could just push command while I'm using that pen tool, and I'm going to pull that ice cream down so that it looks like it's melting in the bottom of the bowl. Add some more anchors and have it be blobby at the bottom. And you could just play with it and do some cool things at the bottom. Play with those handles. That's just moved with that white arrow key, and move around some of those anchors, and add more anchors by using the plus pen tool on a path. And now you can understand why I locked the other layers while I'm doing this, because I don't want to move around my like the outer edge of this bowl while I'm working with the ice cream. So this way I can know that my ice cream can be melty without messing up any other parts. So now if I pull back, you can see there the ice cream's kind of just like melting into the bowl. So have fun with it and play with your transparencies. Go ahead and make sprinkles. Go ahead and make whatever else you want on here. Let me give you a quick little tip for sprinkles as well. Check this out. Super easy. I'm going to use my pen tool. I'm going to give myself a new layer, put it on top of everything here, and call it sprinkles. And if I make a tiny little line here, and I'm just going to say escape so I can let go of it just being a line, not making a shape. So if I make that line, I'm going to use my black arrow so I can select the line. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this bar at the top again here, and I'm going to look at my stroke, or I'm going to use my properties and I'm going to look at my stroke over here. So right now I have no stroke and I have a fill of pink. I want a stroke. So I'm actually going to use this little flippy arrow and just flip it so that my stroke is now something, which is pink, and I have no fill. And I'm going to up the size of my stroke like this, or up here, doesn't matter, either way it works. Make it about as thick as I feel like a sprinkle should be. And now I want to round off both ends of this so it looks more like a sprinkle. All you have to do is go to the word window and stroke right here. Now, your default of this is probably going to look like this. It's a very small little window. So what you want to do with the stroke window is always check to see if you have more options, and you do in this case. So you're going to say show options. And then here you can see you do again. Now look at this. I have stroke 7 point, stroke 7 point, and stroke 7 points. It's showing up in 3 different places on my workspace, and that's fine. But I can also choose here a cap. So I want to cap this stroke with a rounded cap, and you see how that affects that there. Now I've got a rounded cap. Again, it has to be selected for this to affect the thing that is selected. You also have some profile choices if you would like to, have it have some different shapes. You could do that as well. But I'm going to have it go back to that basic so it has a rounded cap. I'm going to make it a little bit fatter, I think, and say, okay, so I like that. And now I've got a sprinkle. And I could Command C and Command V to paste that and move them around and grab them both by pushing Shift. So I click one, hold Shift, and click the other, Command C and Command V. Now I've got even more, and I can just start plopping these sprinkles everywhere, and then I can go back and I can change the colors of the sprinkles so they're rainbow sprinkles, and just have a lot of fun. So have fun, make yourself your ultimate ice cream sundae, and we'll see you soon.